Don't wait. Apply now.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, brought to you by Canopy Street Market.
How about a Tuesday, midday, boom, 11:02 in Lincoln, Nebraska. We need to implement the new Bach weather report, the Bach hourly weather report. So we just check in and Bach gives it to us.
Brought to you by the weather app on my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'm no expert.
Absolutely, you are. You absolutely are. 15,000 days of guessing the weather, Bach. I'd say you're an expert by now. All in full. 402-464-5685. The Starter Heyman text line. You want to be a part of what we're doing? Hit us up. Man, what's up? And we will include you in the show and have something. Give us something to include you in the conversation. You can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, LO Channel 961, Amazon Prime, if you're fancy. And some of you are. I've fully accepted that the bourgeois have found their way into the ticket, into the fan base. So all of that being said and done, before we go forward, Bach, kind sir, would you pay the bills? Pay the bills.
Yeah, today's show is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest quality technology and communication services since 1901. Whether it's residential or business, Hamilton has the answers. Visit hamiltontel.com for more info today.
Thank you, kind sir. One additional favor, Bach, if you would please.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Let's bring in the birthday boy. Husker men's tennis head coach Peter Kobelt. Coach, happy birthday.
Thank you. I thought you guys were going to play the Hamilton song.
No, no. The happy birthday was
I thought we
required.
forgot about my birthday.
Yeah, no such thing. We're not around here. Bach will tell you we like a good birthday party. We like a good. What'd you do special for your best day?
Yeah, it was yesterday. 35 years old, halfway to 40. Seems crazy. Time really does fly. But my girlfriend took me up to Omaha Saturday night and surprised me. We had it planned out, but a bunch of my friends came up. My sister came up, surprised me, and we had a fun night out in Omaha. And then yesterday, just kind of a more normal, relaxed day. Celebrated with the family over the phone and had dinner.
Adorable dogs, by the way.
Crazy dogs, yeah. Crazy dogs.
You know, one of these Wednesdays, just bring them in.
I will.
Just bring them in. We'll put them in the chairs. We'll put headsets on them.
One of them will listen to you. One of them won't. I'm just telling you now.
That's every pair of dogs. That's every. I don't care what kind of what breed of dog. If you have two of them, you have the one that is very serious, and you will have one that is very unserious.
Yep.
And that's just the way. There's one that when you take the picture will smile every single time, and there's one that will just look at you like, human, what do you want from me?
Yep.
That's just like we're Becky and I are dog people, so we've gone through this dance. How's your sister doing? How's Husker life treating her?
Great. She's doing great. Yeah, she was working the girls out this morning just on my way over. It's awesome having her around. Just to bounce ideas off of, talk about stuff, go out to dinner. It's nice. I always say the United States is so big and you can go all over the country and work and travel, vacation. But when you have, I think it's pretty unique to, you can stay where you are and your family can be there. But when you move and then you have family that's still with you, I think that's something that I cherish. And I'm lucky to have my sister around as much as she is. So
how proud are your parents of you two?
I think they're pretty proud. I would hope so. We're not perfect. I know I'm not perfect, but yeah. I mean, I think to have all three of their children, play college tennis, play professional tennis, and now two of them are in college coaching, and the other one's still out there playing professional tennis. I would say that's 3 for 3 for mom and dad. So lucky to have parents like them. They've done more than anyone will ever know for me and for my family. So obviously the apple does never fall too far from the tree. So hopefully I didn't roll too far away from the tree once I fell, but yeah, lucky to have amazing parents that have done a great job raising me.
Who are their favorites? Like seriously, seriously, who's the favorite?
I don't know. I think that's like, you can never answer that question 100% truthfully, but I think there's always a little bit of bias towards the first child because it's just the first one. I don't know. I don't have kids yet, but I think the first one's just changes your life as a family. So I would assume maybe there's a little bit of bias towards me, but just because of that, not because
you're the oldest.
Just because I'm the first child, not because of any other reason.
So there was a study that said a thing that parents for the first child are different than the parents for the second child, who are different than the parents for the third child.
I can see.
They said you can go from the same DNA pool, but the children aren't raised by the same people.
True. I think that after the first lap, the second lap, you do some things different.
Oh, you got all the cool toys, and you got you got spoiled and pampered, and then they got hand-me-down love. That's what my older brother told me. He was like, "Yeah, you got hand-me-down love. You got the love that I left behind."
Yeah, I think there was a big enough gap between me and my little brother, though, for him to get new stuff, though.
Yeah.
At least some.
Yeah, so. It's there. Coach, I want to get into your head because I spent the weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with wrestling, and there's so many things that fans may not be aware of. And I always, poor Coach Kobelt, he comes in here just in good spirits, and then I just dump everybody else's sports stuff on him because he can give insight to maybe And I never asked you to speak for those coaches,
Sure.
but I asked just for your philosophy, because if I can get a coach of this level and magnitude to kind of go through the process for people, it helps the fans understand some of what goes on, right? Bus trips,
Okay, let's go.
right? That to to compete at the highest level and to spend hours on a bus before you compete. How does that, in your mind, how does that correlate? How do you manage asking, you get these finely tuned athletes, like you've conditioned them, you've strengthened them, you've given them nourishment, you preach rest and taking care of the bodies. And then because of the nature of the beast, you have to get on a bus and then ask them to go compete at the highest level. When you get to a hotel from a bus ride, what are you asking your young people to do? What are the things that you have in place to get them ready to compete?
Yeah, I mean I think that's the toughest part about college sports, especially in our world in tennis, where we might only fly down the day before and we got to just get off the plane, and then we'll go and sometimes we'll grab something quick to eat. Sometimes we don't have any time and we'll just go straight to the courts and hit. It just depends on when we can get onto the courts to practice. So, but yeah, I mean, that's why our philosophy is all centered around toughness and competitiveness and having a process that withstands, you know, everything that comes with college tennis. So obviously, Coach Manning and what Coach Manning and everyone, you know, and everyone inside their program is doing a phenomenal job of that already. I mean, number 2 in the country, you know, trophies after trophies, national champions after national champions. It's not just a one shot in the dark there. It's consistent success. So they have a formula for what they're doing. I think every coach kind of has their own way to do it. But yeah, trying to take care of their bodies, you know, traveling with the tall socks, the compression socks, little things like that. Whether they make a difference or not, I don't know 100%, but mentally, I think it all plays a role. And I think that if you're consistent with what you do in your process, I think your team can adapt to it over time. If you're constantly bouncing around trying to do different things, I think that's when it can get a little tougher. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a young coach. I'm still learning a lot of these things. And you know, some of these programs that are doing really well right now, I try and take a peek into those programs when I can and just see.
How much of your coaching decision and philosophy is based on you as a player, as a pro, figuring out what worked for you, recovery, nutrition, time before the match, stretching before, after? How much of that goes into play?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it. I mean, I think that's what coaching is. I think you take a giant ball of clay and you kind of take your experiences from different parts of your career and what you learned at this section, who you learned it from, what you liked about it, and then you kind of mush it all together and try and bring it into the program. So, yeah, I mean, as a player, you learn things, and then from other coaches and other coaching staffs, you learn things, how they handle this, how they handle that. Some schools take a bus, some schools take a car, some schools will fly. There's just a whole lot of different ways to do it. But yeah, you always kind of draw back on your own experiences. And I'm lucky enough that I had a lot of really cool experiences. I played at a high level. I traveled around the world. I got to do all these things and experience all the things that happen on tour and college tennis. So I feel like I have a pretty good idea, but at the same time, like, not everyone's me and not everyone thinks like me. So trying to be adaptive and say, okay, like, what's this team's, you know, recipe to success, not necessarily what I would do best in. If that makes sense.
Where do you fall? Like so in the Big Ten, are you a young one of the younger coaches? Or are you one of the middle of where would you place yourself?
I think I'm the second youngest coach in the Big Ten, and I might be the third youngest coach in the Power Four. So
I was pretty much thinking that those numbers. I need for you to say those numbers for people again, because to give you some flowers as we sit here, that what you're doing and how you're doing it should be, we should put a light on it and celebrate it for just a second, because a recently turned 35-year-old P4 tennis coach is a rare bird. It's a unique unicorn. So you're learning as you go, but you're in deep water already. Right?
Oh yeah. Yep. So I think, that's, and one of the things that I really truly believe that I understand and know and I'm able to communicate, the things that need to be communicated and need to be coached in order for us to do well. And I tell the guys all the time, like, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna play the wrong guy. I'm going to call the wrong play. I'm going to tell you what to do wrong on your forehand and backhand. And I'm going to make those mistakes. And I tell them that because I know they're going to make mistakes too. And I need them to be confident in doing that. I think if you go out there and you're not okay making mistakes, or you're scared to fail, then you just kind of slow up the process. I think you got to go out there and be willing to fail. And then when you do fail, be able to adjust. And that's what I say. Look, guys, I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to try not to make that mistake twice. This is going into my third year as in the head coaching position. And I'm not going to have all the answers. I'm not going to have all the experience to lean on as a guy that's been doing this for 20 years. So, but I'm willing to go out there and I'm willing to stand tall. And if I make a mistake, I'll own it and I'll make the adjustment. And the guys know that, and I think they respect that. But they also see a coach that's probably working harder than most of the coaches out there. So trying to do some of this stuff, trying to do the fundraising stuff, pushing them each and every single day, coming to practice, creating an edge at practice, setting the tone, reinforcing the philosophy, all that stuff every single day. And I think if you can do that stuff, you're going to make a few mistakes, but it's not going to take your program down. It's going to help you continue to build, because the fundamentals keep your floor really high, and you can kind of figure out what exactly this specific team needs to be successful going forward in the future.
Is there some advantage to being one of the younger coaches?
Yeah, I think so. I think now in today's time, I think especially recruiting, sitting down in front of a recruit and be like, hey, like, I was on tour 5-6 years ago. There's like 4 or 5 guys in the top 100 that I beat. So I really understand the level of the pro tour right now. I understand what you need to do. Right now, I was at Kentucky. I coached 2 guys in the top 100 just a few years ago. Like, I really understand what you guys need to do. So I think there's them knowing that, for one, that I did it and I didn't do it 25 years ago. I think that's a big one. And then I'm starting to fall behind with the slang and stuff like that a little bit, but I still try and get
the
in
fact
there.
that you know that you're falling behind puts you at advantage.
I try and get in there and hang out with the guys, and I talk to slang and try and be cool and funny like they all think they are. And I think I got it about half the time. The other half the time I'm not there anymore. So
one of your guys hit me with a Peter Kobelt slang joke the
Oh,
other
yeah?
day, and he said, "You know how tall Coach is?" And I was like, 6'6". And the moment I said 6'6", I just paused because I knew I had walked right into it. And he goes, 6'7". And
I didn't know what that meant either. But
yeah, no, but I walked, like, I literally heard it slowed down in full motion, and I just went, "Oh no, DP.
here we go.
I'm officially the old guy." Like,
I am 6'7" too, so
I know, but that was like, I walked right dead smack into it.
straight into the joke.
Yep, it was there. It was also the same crew that were wanted to debate LeBron as the GOAT, and
That's
we
don't need to
went
go
through.
there.
I said I said, Coach is young. He's not that young. He's not that young to believe that. Peter Kobelt, men's tennis, and again, we're wishing him happy birthday, happy 35th birthday. We're celebrating. Because I'm fully impressed. I said this weekend that Nebraska, that wrestlers are such a unique athlete. They're such a unique type human being. They're almost barely human. But I also, in fairness, the brain of a collegiate tennis player is a really interesting place
Yep.
to get into. because it has to process so much data so quickly, so often, and over the course of a day. Somebody asked the question, like, how many, like, for your player, the average player, let's just ask you when in your career, that as you were training, how many tennis strokes did you have in a day? How much wear and tear do you put on that rotator cuff over the course of a day, the average day for a tennis player?
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever quantified that number before. I don't know what I'm not going to be able to give you an exact number, but tennis is a game of repetitions. It's not a game where you can just be a freak athlete and put on some muscle and then kind of like figure it out. Like tennis takes years and years and years of the brain to body connection, the muscle memory, as everyone says, to kind of really figure it out. There's a coordination aspect. There's a strength aspect. There's a the fitness side. There's a technical side. There's a mechanical side. Then there's a mental side. There's a belief side. There's a problem solving side. There's so many different layers to tennis that all really fall onto that tennis player. Whereas, in other sport, you might just you have one position and you kind of just do one thing, and you can branch out from there. But like I say in tennis, you have to be the quarterback, you have to be the running back, you have to be the offensive lineman, you have to be the defensive lineman, you have to be the defensive back, you have to be the linebacker. You have to be able to do all these different things, and I think that's why it takes long. Obviously, it's not a physical sport like one of those, but from a mental standpoint, it's a lot. You're asking a lot from these student athletes, and I think I don't know what the science is behind it, but I think that's why tennis is the healthiest sport in the world, because you use your brain in a different way than every other sport, because you have to process so much information, and physically you have to be able to do it. And I think the combination of those two is what makes tennis pretty special.
It is the data dump from point to point, right? That as the point changes and the game status changes, and then the opponent's reaction to whatever you're doing, and then your reaction to them, what's more vital of a skill set? Being proactive at this level when it comes to tennis, or reactive? Which one is the one that will determine maybe the greatest identifier for success?
I think the more proactive you can be, the better. Even when you're playing, the way we teach our guys is we really focus on building a foundation that's going to work under pressure, having a forehand that you can swing at as hard as you can, that 100% that you can make when all the marbles are on the table, you can make it. And then from there, you don't have to think if you're going to be making or missing a shot. You're just I know I'm going to make it. So then now you can kind of plan ahead one shot or two shots in the point. I'm going to go this way. I'm going to hit this shot. And then that's going to give me this ball. And then I'm going to be able to go to the net. You can it all kind of happens in your mind as you're playing the point.
The shot next to the shot behind the next shot.
Yep. So, but if you don't know you can make your forehand, you're going to hit it, and then you're going to look, and then it went in, and then now you're reacting for the next one. So just that alone right there, I think one of the most important things in tennis is you have to be able to have shots that work under pressure. I should be able to wake you up at 4 a.m, hand a racket, put a racket in your hand and say, make 100 in a row. And you should be able to do just about that.
From wherever on the court.
From wherever. Yeah. From wherever. So if you can do that, then you can go out and you can focus on the other side of the court, and you can say, what do I need to do to win, as opposed to please don't hit it to my forehand, because I don't know if I'm going to make it. So that's a big separator, in my opinion, in successful tennis players and unsuccessful tennis players.
Is that also true offensive or defensive minded tennis players at this level?
Yeah.
Right. That if to be stellar defensively and to still be able to be proactive, which is that confidence level of knowing no matter what you hit at me, I have some answer for you.
Sure. It's just the best example, the best athletes in every sport, I think, and maybe not every sport, are the counter punchers. You got Floyd Mayweather, counter puncher, best boxer ever.
Yep.
And in our sport, Novak Djokovic, counterpuncher.
Take what you do and then make you pay for it.
Yes. So they can, you kind of, I think with that mindset, you see what's in front of you, and then you have to be very confident in your skills. Because if you don't have that, then it's tough. But if you're extremely confident in your skills and you know exactly what you're doing, you just read what your opponent's doing, and then you start solving the problem over the course of the fight. So I think, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to play tennis. I was extremely aggressive. I wasn't much of a counterpuncher, but something about that type of game style, that type of mentality allows you to problem solve against more players week after week after week after week after week, and give you the results that you want over a long period of time.
Yeah, fighting off good opponents is way more worrisome than attacking good players.
Yeah, and I think there's a balance too. And what's cool and unique about college tennis is all of our guys are slightly different. So we can't make all of our guys have a defensive mindset and play like that. Some of them are going to have to be more offensive, and that's where you try and, if when it comes to the season, try and, if you can, find good matchups against the other team and make sure you put our players in a good situation, in a situation where their games might match up a little bit better against that player as opposed to that player. And I think there's a little bit of coaching there. You can't do it too much in our sport, because you have lineups and rankings and kind of like your overall records throughout the course of the season. But if you can maneuver your lineup to give yourself a little bit of an advantage, like that's stuff that everyone does, and I think that's what coaching is. So
it is why I love having you in, because it's just to recalibrate the brain. Because we all think we have a pretty consistent thought process for what happens in front of us, but no, there are so many other things that are taking place and so many different ways to approach it, that to find stellar coaches and athletes at this level who identify that, there are different ways to go about it. It just depends on the person.
100%.
It really does. From the text line, Texter says, Coach is doing a great job coaching Husker tennis. When's the next first home match?
First home match, January 17th, 11 a.m. versus Omaha. It's a doubleheader. We'll play them again later that day. Which is great for the state of Nebraska. The coach up there in Omaha does a great job. He's also a young guy like I am, a lot of energy. I would expect them to keep doing well over the years. And then January 25th, we have Memphis coming to town, which is one of our rivals in our region. They have also a great younger head coach. He has a lot of experience, did a great job at Florida State when he was there. He's bringing in a really good team. They're always going to be dangerous. They have a phenomenal facility and a phenomenal program too. They have a lot of former pros that are doing a great job, and the head coach there is doing a great job with this team too. So it gets quick. January 17th is doubleheader, and then boom, straight into some of these big time matches, and it'll be exciting.
Before we go to break, Coach, let the folks know how much season tickets for Husker men's tennis will cost them.
Season tickets are free.
Absolutely free. We'll go to break. We'll come back. A texter wanted your opinion on boxing. The mentioning of Floyd Mayweather.
All right, yeah.
And remembering that you're in Nebraska.
Yep.
That they want to know GOAT, best boxers ever. So we'll need 4. We'll need 4.
Okay.
4. Or even, you could change it. Which 4 boxers would be the best tennis players? We have time. You got 4 minutes, Coach. Peter Kobelt, DP, Bach. We'll be right back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer.
Mmm.
Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather.
Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies with a light breeze. The high near 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies and calm winds. Low around 37. And tomorrow, partly sunny skies return with light winds. The high near 59. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska businesses and communities like yours. Learn how we can help you at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Peter Kobelt, Husker men's tennis. We thank him for our weekly conversation, him sharing knowledge and insight. Willie was on the text line. So as you mentioned, Floyd Mayweather, Willie was the best boxer ever. He goes, bud. So there's two ways to do that. One would be the best athletes who were boxers. Or you could go the route of which boxers would be the best tennis players. I'm okay with either way. What way do you want to go?
I think they correlate pretty good 1-on-1. I correlate boxing and tennis pretty similarly. Like the way you're built is very similar. Obviously, in boxing, you're getting hit in the face.
Mm-hmm.
In tennis,
if you're getting hit in the face in tennis, we got some other discussions.
Right. Yeah, we got to talk. It's a little bit of a different game, but we'll go with the first one, just because I'll have a better idea of how to think about them.
Okay.
So obviously Floyd is,
Okay.
is in the top 4. You got to put Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
So yeah. I guess you can also put Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yep.
And then for the pride of Nebraska, I don't know if he's there quite yet, but I think he has the chance to be in the top 4 by the time he's done with his career. But I think, Bud,
Yeah,
I think he's like
I think some of that for old heads, and then for people outside the circle, because Nebraskans know Bud's full fight history. Like they know the difficult fight, the friction. They know where he came from, what he had to go through to get it.
Yep.
Which sometimes can discount some of the other stuff, because if you've never been to Palmer Park, Maryland, or Louisville, Kentucky, and not understand what Cassius Clay had to overcome to become Muhammad Ali, what Mike Tyson had to go through on the streets of New York to become Mike Tyson. Yeah, Bill and Bennett says that. Didn't Sugar Ray Leonard once play tennis? He plays a lot of tennis.
See, I didn't know that.
Even now, yeah, he was a part of. He did a lot of charity work with Billie Jean King and Arthur Ashe.
Sure.
That where they would bring these events, and back in the day of celebrity, they used to do these celebrity sports events where they would have athletes from other sports be competitive in things that they were not competitive. So they would have tennis players in the 100-yard sprint, or they were swimming, 50 meters, or bowling, or whatever it was. And it was always pretty interesting. Because one, you found out that there were some people who were better athletes than you thought, and there were some that you thought would be pretty good athletes who were terrible. And it was pretty interesting along the way. Texter says he agrees with you. He had Bud Crawford, Ali, Tyson, Sugar Ray. So you mentioned in the break that Tyson.
I thought he was up there. But I think just thinking about boxing and tennis, I think they're similar. And to put it like in a more, to give it more of like a specific comparison. In tennis, like you're kind of rallying inside the point where you're hitting kind of back and forth until your opponent gives you something that you can attack. And when you watch boxing, they're kind of doing the same. They'll kind of give you a little jab, a little this. They're bouncing. They're waiting for you to make a move. So that's kind of our version. When you watch boxing, that's kind of our version of like rallying. And then
I saw that in wrestling this weekend.
It's the same thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like there's all these sports are so entwined. There's just different skills that go into different sports and different mentalities, different bodies, different all this stuff. But it's the same kind of. There's an offense, there's defense, there's just so many similarities in sport. And I think that's, for me as a young coach, that's the fascinating part of all this. And that's why I feel like I can truly learn from Mark Manning. I can truly learn from Rhonda Revelle. I can truly learn from Fred Hoiberg, everyone inside of the athletic department, because I think coaching is coaching.
That part, that's literally, you accepted the layup. That we were talking about during the break, that I have this idea in my head that I want to create these forums where coaches speak to other athletes outside of their sport and have these conversations. So imagine you in a room filled with wrestlers or gymnasts. There are things that you as a coach could offer them that would be different, a different voice, maybe different verbiage. Maybe you will get to a thing that their coach can't get to because of repetition, sure. Right? There are things that you would say to basketball players that maybe Fred Hoiberg wouldn't say. And Mark Manning would say things to your guys about toughness that maybe would resonate with them differently.
100%.
Right? So if I said to you that a panel, a true sports panel, where you cross over and you have Peter Kobelt talking to Husker football. Maybe one week it's you talking to wide receivers. Again, a different athletic group, right?
Sure.
Right? To be able to say, listen, in your thinking process, or maybe the psychology behind it, maybe the emotional fatigue that happens from high repetition sports, that crossing over and having these conversations may be of value to both the coach and the athletes from a different perspective.
Yeah, I think, what's unique about Nebraska's too is we all eat in the same cafeteria. All the sports are connected, and I think it's, everyone can learn from everybody, and whatever sport you're in, sometimes it's nice just to bounce ideas off other coaches, for me at least, because sometimes they say something and they communicate, they're able to communicate the message to me better than I've been able to communicate it to my team. And then I can go to practice and say it like this, and then it connects better. So I don't know. If I can't talk to other coaches in our department, I always kind of go back to like 3 or 4 fundamental coaches that I can go back and watch videos from or study from. And, I feel like my mentality is more of the toughness mentality, discipline mentality, kind of a little bit more of the old school.
Vince Lombardi,
Nick Saban,
but not as far as Tom Landry,
Urban Meyer.
Tom Landry was a little too far.
Yes.
A little too far.
But those guys,
who are your coaching goats then? Who are the people that like if you well
a lot of goats today.
Well, because it helps me identify the culture, the
Yeah,
personality type, like what you think, what you're made of. That who are the people that you think you've taken the most things into your coaching utility belt?
Sure.
Like you're not a Woody Hayes guy.
I love Woody Hayes.
So there we go.
I love Woody Hayes.
Woody, Urban.
Well, I got to spend the most time around Urban. Like I said in the last time I came in, that when I was at Ohio State, the tennis team shared the football training room. So I got to spend a ton of time inside of the Woody and in the football facility. And I also lived with 2 of the football players on the team, the 2 captains. So I got to experience a lot of it. I got to I had an hour-long meeting with Coach Meyer in his office with my roommate. We were just talking about tennis and football and everything that comes up,
A much better athlete than advertised. Urban Meyer he was drafted in baseball.
Yep. Very good athlete.
Drafted in baseball.
But he was rigid, man. Like not everyone was comfortable around Coach Meyer, even in the Woody. But just from a coaching standpoint, I think the game's always evolving. But for when those coaches were in their primes, like in that section of time, I don't know if Urban Meyer comes back and is a great head coach today, but 10 years ago, that was his prime, and I think he was one of the best head coaches that college football has ever had. Nick Saban's up there. John Wooden for basketball is up there.
Do you use his pyramid? Is that a part of your coaching? Or
I haven't studied as much of him as I would like to.
Oh, his pyramid is like his book.
It's really good. Huh?
Oh, it gives that. I gotta
get that one.
Unintentionally, he's become the North Star for building a foundation in sports, right? All the base things that you have to have, and then the most important thing at the top of it, and the thing that overrides everything else.
Yep.
Like, what is your thing that overrides everything else? And whether that's discipline, character, integrity, work, belief system, all those things, right? All a part of it. But one thing has to override everything else, that when you get to the fork in the road, you're going to choose that thing over the other things, whether it be winning, the finance behind it, the psychology behind it, the young person that you're coaching. Do they override the money that is in play about it, or does winning override everything? And it's a wonderful. I dive in because I can read it every month and have a different answer every month.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you coaches do it. I really don't. Eric says, ask Coach, has he heard of this guy named Tom Osborne?
I have heard of Tom Osborne. I think Tom Osborne's definitely on that list too. He might be on the top 4 coaches of all time. All-time go. I just haven't. I got to meet Coach Osborne once earlier this year. I had the privilege of meeting him. It was over in the athletic facility, and I just so happened to cross paths, and the person that I was with introduced me to him, and he talked to me for like 2 minutes, and I was like, "So, coach, you ever play any tennis?" And he stopped and he was thinking for 5 or 10 seconds, and he said, "Yeah, it's been a while." I was like, "Coach, as long as you don't go to pickleball, we're all good."
Yeah.
And he started laughing, but was something about Coach Osborne. He has like a different, even now, he has a different energy. I feel like he's extremely wise.
Yeah.
Doesn't overreact without really seeing too much coaching highlights and everything from his time. Like you can kind of just see his aura when you talk to him. Nothing really bothers him too much.
He has an understanding.
I always say that something that I try and coach by is nothing is quite as important as you think it is while you're thinking about it. I feel like Tom Osborne really embolizes that.
Yeah, I cannot disagree. That is amazing. 2 things. We'll go to break. 2 things. You just set a table. I'm going to ask, hey, Bach, you ready for this? We're going to get Coach Kobelt's take on pickleball. Right? We're going to use his take on pickleball. And then we're going to ask him to get his eyes forward to Penn State and what happens Nebraska versus Penn State State College this Saturday. We'll get that from Coach Kobelt when we come back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
The 2026 Love Nebraska schedule is here. Season 2 features 10 opportunities to catch your home team in Nebraska, with 9 at Baxter Arena and 1 at the Heartland Events Center in Grand Island. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes, like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. Check out the full schedule by visiting lovbneb.com/schedule.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies with a light breeze. The high near 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies and calm winds. The low around 37. And tomorrow, partly sunny skies return with light winds. The high near 59. I'm meteorologist Kyle Thunder from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Canopy Street Market on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Peter Kobelt, Husker men's tennis. He mentioned pickleball, and as a tennis coach, I've heard different conversations about pickleball, but you have an interesting perspective on it. So I'll ask you to speak on pickleball.
Yeah. When it first started to get hot, I was like, not a fan. I played once or twice. I lost 2 games. The paddle might have gone flying through the air. And that was certainly out on pickleball. But on a serious note, I think it does a few things that are better than tennis, especially on the front end. I think it's easier to get out there and easier to play with family and friends. There's not a huge learning curve. It's a fun way to get out there and get some exercise. It's pretty cheap. You can set up a court in your driveway. You know, there's some things that
the courts are everywhere.
And I think what it's done too is the tennis world and the pickleball world have kind of collided a little bit, and I think they're starting to integrate a little bit too. I think from pickleball, people naturally, the next conversation piece is tennis, because that's naturally the next level, and you have some former players that have played professional tennis on the men's and women's side coming into pickleball.
Like Agassi,
Steffi Graf, Jack Sock, Sam Query. There's a few more out there that I'm forgetting, but some major names that played tennis that are now Andy Roddick, another Nebraska guy, all getting into the pickleball space. And I think it's just bringing more eyes to both games, but specifically tennis. Tennis in the 90s was one of the most popular sports in the United States. And then I think, baseball kind of took over, and now I think it's probably NFL football. And all these sports are kind of competing for the number one sport. I don't know if tennis will ever make it back up there again, but I think for tennis, you have to kind of view pickleball as a booster in a way to kind of bring more views back into the tennis world, that from people that would normally never watch tennis or pay attention to tennis, now they might actually turn it on and see.
I think it's all good if you could find it. I think the American superstar is required for tennis to move back up the rankings again.
I agree.
All right, I think the American superstar. We know this about us. We know that we pay more attention. The Williams sisters did an amazing job of pulling people back into the space. Every time there is a great American player, there is a groundswell of fan support. But if they're not buying in, they won't watch. That's just how it works. It is a big weekend at State College. A true freshman quarterback. And I'll try to ask you if there's any correlation to tennis, to having a true freshman come in and just out of pure need ending up in a critical spot in your lineup and having a performance like TJ Lateef had, then giving a week to prepare, to travel to a tough place to play. What happened in the 2 weeks for the freshman? What did the coach, as a coach, what are you feeding? Are you correcting mistakes? Are you building, positive support and reinforcement on what he did? Are you trying to add to the toolkit? Do you just want to leave it alone and let it progress organically? Or do you press play and say, it's Penn State, we need you to be the best version of yourself?
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm nowhere near the coach Matt Rule is, so I'm I'm not going to pretend to know exactly what he's doing. But if that were to happen in tennis, I think when you first get a recruit, regardless of their age or their experience level, I like to when we have new guys come in, I like to test them out right away and see exactly what we have like today. And then you kind of know, okay, like this is where we need to start building. And then I think Coach Rule has from watching from the outside, I think they have a similar philosophy where they need to know. And at this point, I think TJ came here in January for the bowl game. So they've been with him for a year now. They know what he's able to do. They know what kind of person he is. They know what kind of work ethic he has. They know what type of quarterback he is. They know how he sees the field and what he's good at, what he's not good at. So I think they take him. They might add a play or two that they think he can be good at, and then they also look at Penn State and they say, okay, like what can we do with TJ that Penn State might struggle with a little bit, and then you try and marry those two things the best you can. If you have 2 weeks time, if you have 1 week time, that might be a little bit tougher. But I think you never want to see your number one quarterback go down. But I think for TJ to have an extra week of preparation, I think it's pretty good timing for something bad like that to happen. It gives him a second to kind of relax, look over the film, see some of the things that he thought he did well or he didn't do well, and then kind of build a plan and add a few wrinkles that maybe no one else has seen so far this year. So I would assume that there's probably a wrinkle or two that Nebraska hasn't ran that Penn State's not going to know is on film, and that's kind of the battle, I would assume. But from football game to football game is when do you add plays, when you take plays away, how simple do you keep it, when do you put more on their plate? And I think they have a pretty good idea what TJ's able to do, and that game against UCLA, I think, gave him a lot of confidence that he can handle more and he's going to be able to do more.
Look into your crystal ball, kind sir. What's the result Saturday?
Huskers are winning. We already said, actually, I think I predicted that this game, they were going to lose this game early on in the season. But I think we got the momentum. I think the guys are confident. I think we had extra week to get healthy, and I think we're ready to go.
You heard it here. Peter Kobelt, happy birthday. Thank you, kind sir. Once again, great hour of conversation. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
Don't go anywhere. Adam Carricker, the big guy, comes in next here on The Ticket.
If one of the things running through your mind as a business owner is the recurring worry of possible cyber attacks, you can let out a sigh of relief. Hamilton Business Technologies has you covered. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we offer real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and more to keep your data safe from harm. We care about the success of Nebraska